What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO and TARS AI, TAI in this video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Both AI coins, both different and unique in their own respects. But we haven't talked about TARS in a long time, and I just figured talking about it, I've been doing these 2-for-1 videos lately, and I think doing a 2-for-1 with Cookie sounds about right. So we're going to do some Cookie and then TAI at the end of this video. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 30th day of September, and here we are at about 10.38 cents for Cookie DAO right here. 3 hours, 21 minutes left in the day, in the 3-day, and in the month as well. What's the monthly look like? Man, that is a bearish looking month, isn't it? Very, very bearish and torrential since May, man. Just so sad. But as you're moving lower, you can see that the volume is dying off. Right, it's becoming increasingly less dramatic, or I should say decreasingly for the amount of volume that's here. 3 hours left. I can't imagine we get too much volume by the end of this month here. I would assume with this move progressing lower as we're decaying in volume, that would allow for us to launch, and I think the word launch is very appropriate here. Launch back to where the original descent happened, and then through there as well. We should be able to move up at a very fast pace. But just checking out the monthly time frame, Cookie DAO, as every month goes by, this monthly look is getting more and more put together. We're still finding support here at prior resistance and current support areas. I think it's fine. Looking at this on a weekly time frame now, a little bit more built up, but still very, very new. From a high, what was the all-time high for a while, to the low here, we just missed the golden ratio. Absolutely just missed it. Should I take this high to low? Maybe I should take this high to low. Oh, wow, look at that. That is so much more well-respected, actually. You even tipped the golden ratio here. You found support at the golden ratio here. Tipped the 1886. Found support right above, or resistance right above the 1414. You look, I like this. And that kind of makes sense because this might have been first day. Let's go back to the daily time frame here, actually. Hold on. That was like first day mania. Crazy stuff, right? This was the high after that. So I think that is an appropriate high. Wow. I can't believe I've never done that before. It looks so good. So what we'd look to find then, this is even better whenever it comes to finding our low. If this isn't the low, likely then we'd probably find support right here at the 786. Cookie DAO does not respect its fibs, guys, and man, it respects the hell out of this. This one has a lot of respect going through. Love to see it. Even at the 886 here, even at the 100 right there. Perfect. All these areas. 786 is right there at about 9.4 cents. Maybe we find support just below, just above, right at it, right? Something like that. We could have our low right here. It's very possible. I want to look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, let's look at the man, I want to leave that fib up, but we're just gonna remember it. I want to look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there. Looking at the 1 hour here, not a whole lot of volume coming in, but a little bit pumping up the price here. The RSI is volatile, oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, probably going overbought. Stochastics look good, and the MACD looks like it wants to cross up too. Yeah, I don't think that's enough to prove that this is the low, though. It could. I like that look. I actually really do like this look. I love it whenever you get a bottom like this with an M and you come up and really it's like a W with an M in it. So sorry. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Man, there we go. I would say once we get above about 10.8 cents, we get above this area right here, then we have validated the low. Until then, it's up in the air, and we could go lower. And it's important to remember, if we go lower, 9 cents, 9.5 cents, somewhere in between, as low as 8.5 cents even, 8 cents itself, those areas could come to play, come to fruition if we do keep moving down. 4 hour RSI looks bullish, though. The 1 hour looked bullish, too. The stochastics look bullish. I should say it looked volatile on the 1 hour, but here we look bullish momentarily. Stochastics look bullish, and the MACD, while bearish overall, you have some bullish stuff. I like that you've been green for so long, building bullish momentum. You had a little taste of the bearishness, and now you're back to being green again. This is good stuff. I don't like that with this bullish momentum being built, you did nothing with it, but the fact that you're showing this kind of maneuvering on the oscillators where, you're moving up, you touch tips, and then you move up again. That's very bullish behavior. That's actually very, very bullish behavior. So if we can continue here, again, that would go in line with getting above this 10.75 cent area. Okay, getting above there I think is crucial. Crucial. I think you will. I like it. I actually think that you will. Look at this, right? As you're moving down, volume's dying off. No volume, non-existent. Volume, you're trying even here. You got a lower low, no volume. Nobody wants to send this thing lower. Nobody wants to sell it. All the sellers are gone. They've already sold, man. All the people who FOMO bought the top, all the people who bought more, bought the dips here, they're spent. So they're either holding and waiting for the price to come back up, or they've panic sold already. You probably panic sold here, or after this pop and then we dropped here, right? There's no more sellers left. Now there's only buyers left, only people who are left wanting to buy this thing, or who have a sour taste in their mouth because they sold it for a loss. When this thing comes back, it's going to attract all the attention that it had back here, right? What's crazy is, and just this perspective here, when Cookie DAO pumps, whenever it's above about 17 cents, 20 cents, it's going to have the same hype that it did back here. Except at that point, the FOMO is going to kick in at a much earlier price. We're going to really launch this thing, I think, going up to our all-time highs and beyond, right? The FOMO will really kick in once we're at new all-time highs, but just in comparison to this aspect over here, I think we'll see more volume and everything. It'll be phenomenal. Daily time frame, looking at this here, the RSI did bounce right off the oversold zone. We love to see it. Overall, very bearish RSI, but you've got some bullish prospects. The stochastics has rejected the oversold zone, not good. And the MACD has rejected the zero, not good. So there are some negative things here. You look your worst when you're at your worst, though, whenever you're at the low point here. And if we're looking at this for what it is, which is a somewhat descending kind of channel, you are presumably at the base of this channel. So I would think at the very least we move up for a lower high before moving lower, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to break out of this to the upside here pretty soon. We'll know that we're breaking out once we get above about 14.7 cents. We get above 10.75 cents, we know that this is the low. We come up, we get above 14.7 cents. That's how we know that not only is this the low, but we're breaking out of this range. We're going on a venture, a marvelous adventure, all the way up to new all-time highs altogether, okay? There's some good things going on here with the RSI bouncing off the oversold zone, but this rejection off the oversold zone on the stochastics has me a bit worried. I'm not going to lie. I don't like that. 3 hours left. Let's see if the day can come back up and close green. That would be nice. Weekly time frame here. Stochastics rejecting there. We do have bullish divergence on the MACD, which is nice. The RSI does have lower lows while promoting higher lows. We're actually at the same area in the RSI now that we were when we found support back here. So I do expect this month to close green. 5 days, 4 hours left. I think that it will close green. And I expect this next month of October to be fantastic. We should be moving up with this overall kind of W shape. Moving up to new all-time highs. Inevitably going to prices that are well above $1, well above even $2 by the end of October, if not certainly by the end of the year. I very, very, very much believe that Cookie DAO will be worth something over $1 by the end of October, at the very least. If not as much as like $2.50 by the end of October. But if we're not there by the end of October, then understand this price of like $2.50 to $4, that will happen by the end of the year, if not higher prices. Yes, these crazy valuations, 24x, 37x, 70, 90, 100x. You guys, a 100x is possible for Cookie DAO between now and the end of the year. The cycle ends in Q2 of 2026. We have a whole 6 months or 4 months of cycle left after that. Crazy things, man. Crazy. Let's talk about TAR's AI. TAI here. So I told some people I would talk about it. And I've forgotten. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to forget. Here we are, TAI. Chilling. Boring. Doing exactly what Cookie has done, which is that since the end of May, you've just been moving down. Although I think you look a little bit less dramatic. Let's see, high to low. What have you done? Let's see. Come on now. Get it right there. 67%. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cookie DAO has dropped more than 67%, but let's just see. Let's double check that. Yeah, 73%. Man, it's funny. It's not funny. I'm not trying to laugh at anybody, okay? But it is funny. It's kind of ironic, let's say, that the people who are... people in my comments are freaking out more about TARS than they are about Cookie. A lot of people have belief in Cookie, right? And that might be because I talk about it all the time. I like Cookie DAO more than TARS. That's no secret. We made some money off of TARS, right? A lot of people even bought TARS, got into TARS back around here, or at the low points, not even at the high points, right? They're even at lesser deficits, and I mean that's a pretty significant deficit, 57% there, or even a 40% deficit is still a lot to be down, but it's not down as much as Cookie. It's actually got this nice kind of rounded structure right down here. It's kind of rounding out. Just because I don't talk about TARS AI all the time doesn't mean that we're not still bullish on it. We're very much bullish on it. I very much do believe that we're on our way to new all-time highs. It's just been boring. It's been very boring over the past few days, over the past week, and then over really the past few months. It's been very, very boring. Not a whole lot going on. And again, I like Cookie more than I like TARS. But does that mean that TARS isn't worth looking into? Hell no. We're looking into it now. TAI, you guys, dramatically lower market cap at $44.7 million in market cap valuation. This thing is multi-100x potential all written over it, right? It's written all over it. It's got multi-100x potential written all over it. It's a phenomenal project. I encourage anybody and everybody to read the white paper, do your own research, right? Let's actually look it up, see if we can find it for you, because some people have a hard time finding the white paper with this one specifically. Let me show you how to do it. Let's go here. So we'll go to the website. Would you click on research? I think you scroll all the way down. Yeah, scroll all the way down. You click on docs. There you go. Right, you click on docs, and that'll get you started. Okay. Oh wait, it says coming soon. Oh, so you can't click on that. Wow, you used to be able to. Maybe they're updating some stuff. Tokenomics then. Click on that. There you go. That's really all you need to know. That's but if you want to do some more research, maybe ask Grok. Ask Grok for like a link to the white paper or something. He'll pull something up that'll get you there. I'm surprised. Wow. That's maybe they're just updating this. You can't click on that yet. Coming soon, docs. Okay. Well, anyways, do your own research. You can definitely do more research than just clicking the docs there. You can read all about it here, but make sure that it's a project that you want to invest in. Getting to work here, from a low to a high. Low to high here, we're right around our golden ratio. I wouldn't be surprised if we went down to about 4.7 cents, 4.1 cents. This could be the area that we find support. However, sometimes you do find support right above the golden ratio. There's a bit of front running going on where instead of hitting the very obvious target area, you find support just above it because there's not enough selling pressure. There's too much buying pressure. Either way, that would send us higher. Likely it would send us higher. So depending on what we do here, if we do start closing days above these high points, which are also these support points here, if we start closing above about 5.5 cents on a daily basis, I would think we found our low and we're moving higher. It still depends here. We really have to get above about 8 cents before we make that claim official, before it's like validated, 8.3 cents. But at that point, we'd start to think about moving higher. We get to 8.3 cents and beyond. There's no doubt that that's the low and that you're moving up higher. And from there, TARS, 8.3 cents and beyond, you have a lot of growth going. You have a lot of growth to go. High to low here, the expectation would be that TARS going into either the end of this year or the end of October, we'd see anything from about $1.14 as a target. That's a 22x, all the way up to a $3.30 target, which is a 65x. And these targets are for the end of the year, if not maybe the end of October. I doubt that we see this by the end of October. We could see a 22x by the end of October, or something at the very, very minimum by the end of October, a 5x to a 7x potential. That'd be at about, what is that, 30, it's like 35 cents to 25 cents, somewhere in that range. That's your minimum target by the end of October, and then higher, thrusting higher by the end of the year. I really would expect that we see a 20-something X or more by the end of the year for TARS. So that's the path ahead. I don't know if we have the low yet, so it's not completely appropriate to take this high to low, but assuming that is the low, that's right in your money zone too. 2886, 3113, they're colored orange because Bitcoin's the new color of money, right? Right there. Right there, yeah. It makes sense to me. Anyways, you guys, looking at the indicators here, looking at the daily time frame, bouncing off the oversold zone, rejecting the 40, not a good look. Rejecting the oversold zone here, MACD crossing back below the zero. It's very possible you go a little bit lower, and if you do, again, hitting that golden ratio at like 4.5 cents is not a big deal. 4-hour time frame, I actually like I do like the 4-hour RSI. Overall, it's bearish, but you're turning this into a bullish trend. Can you see it, right? Downtrend turning into an uptrend here. Stochastics coming out of the oversold zone looking good, and the MACD is very close to crossing above the zero. I think TARS, I don't know, man. I keep going back and forth. Are we going to see a lower low, or is this the low? It's hard to say. I wouldn't be surprised if we moved up from here, but it really depends on what you can do. Can you get above 5.7 cents? Can you get above that 5.65, 5.7 cent area? Can you do that? If you do, you validate this as a low. Can you get above 8.3 cents? If you do that, you validate that you're breaking out and that we're going to see dramatically higher targets in a short amount of time. 1-hour time frame looks bullish. I don't know. I think we do move up going over the coming days. That doesn't mean that we're done going lower just yet. Perhaps what we do is we come up, we find resistance at prior support, and then we go lower. But a little bit of bullishness now. We'll check back in a few days and see how you're doing. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Very bullish prospects on both of these projects. I think that TARS and Cookie are both phenomenal. If I had to put my money in one or the other, I would probably choose Cookie personally. I think that Cookie is a solid project. I think they're both solid projects. I just believe more in Cookie. I think TARS there's a lot more competition. And I mean, they kind of are competitors to a certain degree, but I think that Cookie and TARS, while they're both AI protocols, I think they are different as far as what their objectives are, more or less. Anyways, I'd probably choose Cookie DAO. But even with that being said, I think TARS is a phenomenal investment, and we're looking to put some more money into that as well. The thing about TARS, the thing about TAI versus Cookie here is that TAI, if we're looking at this, it's not on Coinbase. It's not on Binance. Cookie DAO is on Coinbase and Binance. So those exchanges, by the way, the two biggest exchanges in the crypto space, they're typically correlated with massive rallies, right? You get some of the largest rallies of your life with a Binance listing or a Coinbase listing. So you do have some pumponomic potential there with TARS AI that you just don't have with Cookie DAO anymore. Flip side to that, Cookie DAO has the outreach, the exposure that Coinbase and Binance offers. Anyways, I'm done. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye bye.